It began with a pair of sunglasses. Not just any sunglasses, mind you, these were aviators. The kind that whisper, mystery, and scream, celebrity who just landed from a top-secret mission. And they were worn, indoors, by America's most trusted news anchor, David Muir, at a charity brunch hosted by his longtime friend, the ever-vivacious and lovingly inquisitive Kelly Ripa. Now, if you know anything about David Muir, you know he's always composed. Tailored, buttoned up, both literally and figuratively. He's the man who calmly guides us through hurricanes, elections, and global chaos, all with that distinct journalistic poise. So when he showed up in vintage Ray-Bans, a leather jacket, was it designer or burned, and a barely there smile, Kelly knew something was up. "David, are you auditioning for Mission Impossible 9? She quipped, sipping her mimosa. The table chuckled. David didn't. "I just had a long night," he said, adjusting his cuffs like he was hiding a GPS tracker, or a bruise. That's when Kelly knew something was definitely going on. Now, Kelly Ripa may be America's sweetheart, but she's also a seasoned morning show host with a built-in radar for drama. Long night, she pressed. Was it a gala, a date, or, brace yourself, a secret summit with Diane Sawyer and Beyoncé? David smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Let's just say, I saw something I can't unsee. Cue the silence. Kelly blinked. Ryan Seacrest, who was hovering nearby like a stylish satellite, leaned in. Wait, what does that even mean? David looked around, leaned closer, and whispered, I shouldn't say more. For your own safety. Now, if you think that kind of vague comment is going to stop Kelly Ripa, you're clearly unfamiliar with her boundless curiosity and former soap opera training. She spent 3 seasons on All My Children, people. She knows a storyline when she hears one. That night, Kelly called David. Straight to voicemail. She texted. 1 checkmark. Never 2. She sent a pigeon, okay, a plush one via courier, she has flair. No response. Days passed. Then something weirder happened. David missed 2 consecutive dinners. With Anderson Cooper, the Silver Fox himself. Anderson reportedly said, I haven't seen him since that brunch. Last I heard, he was in upstate New York, or Iceland. Kelly's internal alarms were blaring. David Muir had become a ghost. But then, boom, a glimmer of hope. On a quiet Thursday afternoon, she received an envelope. No return address. Inside, a single photo. David, on a boat, in what appeared to be a lake surrounded by snow. Holding, brace yourselves, a typewriter. Not a laptop, not an iPad, a typewriter, and he was smiling, not his usual newscaster smile. A rogue, disheveled, Hemingway in the Arctic kind of grin. What was happening? Kelly did what any self-respecting co-host of America's most watched morning show would do. She went full Nancy Drew. She pulled favors. She called in old ABC contacts. She even enlisted Mark Consuelos, who used to moonlight as her muscle on mystery missions, and also her husband. The trail led him to Lake Placid. Not the alligator movie one, the real one. Rumors swirled. Someone had seen a man matching David's description buying bulk instant coffee and an emergency survival whistle at a local hiking store. Others swore he was writing a book, a novel, about the fall of modern communication. One barista whispered. He paid in cash, left no name, but his hair, definitely anchor hair. Meanwhile, social media was spiraling. #FairAceDavid trended for 3 days straight. Fans theorized. He's training to be the next James Bond. He's starting a silent monastery for overworked journalists. He's filming a secret reality show where anchors survive in the wild on copy paper and dignity. Kelly, half amused and half worried, kept searching. Then, finally, a breakthrough. At 6:42 a.m., on a misty Saturday morning, Kelly's phone buzzed. Unknown number. A voice said, meet me at the reservoir. Come alone. Bring bagels. Click. She knew that voice. 30 minutes later, there he was. David Muir, in the flesh, slightly scruffy, eyes clear, wearing a flannel shirt, looking like he'd just spent 3 weeks wrestling metaphors in the woods. Kelly handed him the bagels. You disappeared, she said. People thought you joined a commune. I needed to disappear, David replied. I was losing my words. Every story started to sound the same. Every tragedy felt like déjà vu. Sarai unplugged. Kelly nodded, understanding more than she let on. And the typewriter, a reminder that the truth doesn't need Wi-Fi. They sat in silence, sharing bagels and birdsong. Then Kelly turned to him, narrowing her eyes. But why the sunglasses indoors? David laughed. I had a black eye. From a kayaking mishap. Didn't want to spark rumors. Kelly rolled her eyes. Too late. Epilogue. David returned to the anchor desk the following week. Calm, clear-eyed, no sunglasses. He didn't mention his disappearance. He simply delivered the news, like always. But every so often, he glanced at the camera with that rogue little smile. The kind that made you wonder if he still had the typewriter. Kelly, for her part, started writing her own novel, The Anchor Who Vanished. Loosely based, of course. And somewhere in Lake Placid, there's a cabin with a worn desk, a stack of bagel wrappers, and a note tacked to the wall.